Hello everyone, I am Johanna with Great Outdoor Provision Company. I've been with this company for about 12 years and I'm very familiar with dressing in cold weather, not just because of what I've learned working here, because I grew up in a relatively cold place. I'm from southern Maine and I've done a lot of skiing, cold weather, hiking and running, and various things in cold and mild temperatures in both Maine and North Carolina. So I'll talk a little bit today about hats and gloves and how hats and gloves are part of a smart system to keep yourself comfortable when you're doing active things in cold and milder temperatures. All right, so just like clothing, you do want to be thinking about layers. Like you'll have a shell on the outside, a mid layer, and then a base layer. So that is one approach as opposed to just one thing that's going to do everything for you. So if you want to go that approach, you can do a liner glove, which is something really thin like this. Smartwool makes a nice one. It's a merino wool layer, so it's almost just like long underwear on the rest of your body, but it's just your hands. And then you could wear a puffier glove over that. So if you get hot, when you take the puffy glove off, it's not just your naked hands, you still got some option there for a layer. I don't typically go that route, but for people who want the flexibility and the options, or you're scared of being too cold when you take the big one off, then that's a way to go. Also, just to reiterate what I said in the beginning, hats and gloves are part of a system that you want to think about for dressing in cold weather. A warm jacket will take you some of the way, but to really feel comfortable, especially when wind's blowing, and to cover your ears, hats and gloves are part of something to consider to make sure that you're comfortable all over, not just through your body and legs. So people come in here all the time and they'll ask for the glove that's going to be warm, but not too bulky and comfortable. And there's not really one perfect glove that's going to do everything. The way that you can think about it is that thickness equals warmth. So it's sort of a common sense approach. Any glove that's thicker is going to be warmer. So this glove is going to be warmer than something thinner like this one. You can just kind of tell that right away. So if you are going to be generating heat, which it sounds like many of you are doing when you're hiking, you can go with a really thick glove like this, but while you're generating heat and moving, you're gonna probably wanna take this off. And so that's why you may wanna think about a thinner glove if you're walking around building your own heat. Another thing to consider is waterproofness with gloves. Waterproofness is only really a concern if you're gonna be out for prolonged periods of time in really rainy and snowy conditions, because if that's the case, then you want something that's going to keep you protected so the water doesn't just soak through. But if it's just a light drizzle or you're out in the woods where you've got some tree coverage, then you'll probably be more comfortable in a thinner glove and something that isn't waterproof, because that waterproofness is going to create a barrier that makes it hard for your skin and your hands to breathe, and then you're going to be trapped by your own sweats. You're going to be wet from the inside. And so that's something to think about. Anything that's waterproof is going to inhibit breathability to some degree. So in general, I guess I would say with gloves, just use your intuition. Anything thicker is warmer. And if you're building your own heat, then a big thick glove is probably overkill for what you're doing, even in very cold places, because you'd be surprised at how hot you get after the first half an hour of exercising. And then on hats, we're going to touch on that briefly. The most important thing that hats do is to keep your ears covered. Or if you have thin hair, or if you're like bald up top, you want to keep the top of your skin covered as well. Many hats that we sell are going to provide a band on the inside. Like this one has got a fleece band on the inside to cover your ears, but it's a looser knit up top. So then you're going to be able to have some air coming out of the top. So you're not just going to be sweating inside of it. So that's what I would recommend. In very cold weather, if you're going to be wearing a hat, you still want to think about breathability and potentially getting too hot. So something that covers your ears is good, but you don't need a full lined hat all the way through. Or also, if you're someone like me that has a lot of hair, and might be bothered by wearing a hat, we've got plenty of headbands here to think about. So if you just need your ears covered and you're going to be out for a hike for a long time, you'll probably be very happy wearing earmuffs or headbands, which we have here. And I think that's about it. Thanks for listening.